as Rebecca Louise says.
Oh, she says I want to.
80% is the nutrition.
Is the nutrition. And 20% is working out.
And 10% is never having children.
He said, guess I'm going to fade into oblivion. Use our link. It will save you $20 off your first order.
I like their pills that make you invisible.
No. Check out their Instagram pages. They have fuck.
You and I could live like that. Just living like up in the mountains in a fuck shack, just you and me. And then, all I want for Christmas is no flies and death and stuff.
God.
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.
I don't know if I have one of those faces or maybe I don't look mean enough, but everywhere I go, somebody asks me questions. Like the older gentleman who felt the need to stop me in the grocery store and ask me how many paper towels were in the clear see-through packaging.
It was 2.
I'm like, 1, 2. You want to count the tubes? And then he was asking me what the better buy would be. I said, probably the bigger pack that's also on sale.
See, you help him though. More he gets around, I guess. Maybe you just have, just one of those faces. That woman will help me. So, I try to look as angry as I can at Home Depot to avoid him. Just like, God damn pipe.
We've all heard how that doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
No,
I think it attracts people more. They're like, he looks really busy. I bet you he knows how to, put in a toilet. Yeah.
Or she's jogging. Let me pull over and ask directions.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Who does that?
It's like walking up to somebody working out at the gym and asking how to get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
It's literally the same thing.
I know you're doing something on the elliptical, but if you wouldn't mind stopping completely to talk to me, that would be fine. As this. Yeah.
So weird.
I don't know. You just got one of those faces. So, talk about the woman that inspired this bit.
I had a patient who they were very clueless. She didn't think she had insurance. It turned out she did have insurance. It was a big to-do. They were trying to call someone in Ireland to pay their bill at one point. They
didn't have the right medical card.
They didn't have the right amount of cash. They had, even though they handed us a wad of cash.
Since you live close, why don't you run home and get the right card? And she said,
she had been carjacked. This little old lady, someone in the middle of the day in a food store parking lot. I guess she had one of those faces.
Yeah.
Just happened to go up to her and push her out of the way and jump into her Fiat and drive off. So they did find the car. It was in New Jersey, but she currently had no car.
So she couldn't walk home. But then she did walk home. And she came back with
an AARP card, which is
also
not
wrong.
And not the right insurance card.
Now, my first thought was, wouldn't you bring all the cards? Bring all the cards if you're walking.
But she had a friend with her, and they were busy kind of talking out in the waiting room, and her friend was sneezing, which prompted her to come up to me and ask me, who's the god of sneezing?
That turned out to be a lightning bolt from the blue, because we started thinking about all the weird gods that are out there that people used to worship for whatever reason.
Or perhaps still do.
So we started making up some names. So some of these are real gods and some of these are fake. So I'll start it off. Ascalaphos is real. The gardener of Hades in the underworld.
How about Asuch, the god of just surviving a rectal exam?
Well, that's a fake one, but I think it's more like Asuch. That's kind of the way I meant that. Well, you can do the next one.
How about Acapulco? He's a pool boy on Mount Olympus. That's fake.
I can see that.
That's fake.
Cardea, the Roman goddess of door hinges. That's real.
Real.
Yeah.
I don't know why
I
you
don't
need
understand it. Yeah. Or how about this one? Bologna, Mesopotamian goddess of artificial pork products. And we won't stand for Bologna.
That one's fake.
That one's fake.
About Hindingnitis, god of loud rock concerts.
That's fake.
That's fake.
Yeah.
Double-toetus, god of bad luck.
Stubatoitus. Yeah.
That one's fake.
How about Hermatu Erectus, Roman god normally associated with premature ejaculation? That's fake. And the next one, Savalis Andronicus, Aztec deity worshipped by those who shave private parts. Get it, Savalis? That's fake. And you dug up some very interesting stuff on some of the gods that were worshipped.
I guess it's what's most important to people, but in a lot of cultures, including Japanese folklore, Kaweo no Kami, or the toilet god, is a popular deity.
What?
Yeah, since the contents of outhouses were used as fertilizer, I guess, it was also kind of a, gardening, good luck for the harvest. Kawana no Kwami was associated with fertility and good harvests, and also invoked, this is important, to protect people from falling into the toilet pit.
Sounds like a bunch of bull fertilizer to me. This is the entity that we would need to pray to prior to opening that stall. You ever go, like you're in a Walmart or some other could be gross kind of a store, and you reach for that stall and you got to open it. Maybe this is more of a men's room thing, I think, because sometimes you open it and it's horrifying what you see in there. So we could invoke her when we're hoping for the best, reaching for the stall.
You have to go, Kaweo no Kami!
Oh,
then open it.
Oh, I'm not going in there.
I love that meme going around where it says bathroom at music venues and it's like the dead body on the floor.
Oh, the saw with the from the
love
it.
Yeah.
They weren't the only ones though, right? The Chinese had what, Zigu, the goddess of poop.
Yeah. Women could leave an image of Zigu by the toilet, and in return for their devotion, she would answer their questions. I don't know what questions they had. But
maybe it would have made more sense to leave a roll of toilet paper next to it, a little bit more pragmatic,
Where did the answers come to you? While I was sitting on the toilet.
If I'd known about her back in my Preakness days, she could have helped me win with the spot-a-pot tipping contest. Yeah.
My youngest had a thing whenever he would go in the bathroom, he would want privacy, although he was little. Privacy. Yeah. But he would sit in there and I'd be waiting outside, making sure he didn't get into any mischief. Just listening, and you'd hear, "Ba ba black sheep." He would be singing on the toilet. I'd be like, "Oh my God, just poop."
Oh, this next one's good. How do you say it?
I'm not sure.
Siramir? Theramir? Norse god of eternal bacon. This is real.
This is a real thing. I think the Norse people understood that no proper religion.
The Nordic people. The Nordic people.
I want to say that the Nordic people knew that no religion was complete without divine bacon.
Here.
After all, they couldn't settle for worship gods who ate what us mortals ate.
Oh, hell no.
They needed divine food. And that's where this Sacramir comes in. He is the best tasting pig in the universe. So every day, this poor pig gets to be hunted and killed and devoured. And then he's reborn the next day to go through the whole thing again.
Boy, that's a Groundhog Day for you. Wow. I think he was often noted for heated debates and wars with Blandora, the goddess of vegetarianism. That one's fake, people. Stay with me, people. Come on. This one this sounds like it's from Larry David or something, but go ahead.
I guess a Zopchapilli.
Uh-huh.
It's actually a god of gay prostitutes and hallucinogens, which is an interesting combination. This is real. And I guess a lot of religions have gods of homosexuality, but the Aztecs were a bit more specific with this one. It wasn't enough for them to have a god of gay men. They needed a god for the gay men who have sex for money.
That makes no sense. Did they have a god for straight prostitutes?
No.
How about middle-aged or middle-of-the-road drag queens? Or what about people who just like to watch RuPaul?
I think
they all need gods. Come
on. Everyone needs some protection.
How about Kai Fu, the god of intersections? God of intersections sounds kind of cheesy, but Kai Fu is actually a terrifying god. He's the Haitian voodoo equivalent of Satan. And although he technically rules over intersections, it's more of a devil at the crossroads kind of a thing. But here's the question. Could he win a fiddle contest?
Does he direct traffic?
There you go.
Not you. You. Not you.
And this one's weird too.
All right. So this one is pretty wild. Nincase, which is really close to case of beer. But it's always kind of pictured as the lady filling the mouth. This is the Sumerian god of beer. She was created according to a myth in order to give humans some kind of relief from earthly suffering.
I love her already.
The kind that only beer can provide.
Yes. Here, here.
Ninkasi was the Mesopotamian goddess of beer and brewing. And it is possible in the first millennium, she was known under the variant name Kurunti, derived from a term referring to a high-quality type of beer. I could only suggest it might be an IPA.
I like her even more as this gets better and better.
But she was associated with both the positive and the negative consequences with the consumption of beer.
What are the negative consequences?
I imagine dehydration, peeing, burping.
Please.
Maybe the one chip attack or bad decision or two.
None of these things ever happen to me. We should invoke her when we're going to some shitty dive bar and all I see is like Miller Lite and Coors Light on tap. We should be like, was it Ninkas? The lady filling the mouth with beer. Please help us. I want some loose cannon. Okay. We're back to Samaria now. Inanna, also known as Ishtar, is the Sumerian goddess of war and fertility. War and fertility.
Yeah, apparently, she sucks in her violence.
Known for her voracious and varied sexual appetite. She tends to kill or decapitate her former lovers. These include the special Alulu bird, the lion, the horse, the shepherd, and the gardener. And I think it's lovely that she shows such diversity. I'll fuck man or beast.
And that's also such praying mantis attributes.
Well, that's true.
Biting his head off.
Yep. Well, I guess let's close this out.
All right, this is a really weird one.
Okay.
Sheila Nagigs, which sounds fake, but it is real. Her name means the old hag of the breasts. And she was most often depicted as an old woman with an exposed and exaggerated vulva.
Yes.
She is known for being a lustful pagan goddess, which further adds to her odd appearance. Despite her outwardly repulsive general visage, she attempted to seduce men by exposing herself. Most men did refuse the offer, shocking, but those that accepted were made into kings and were rewarded with prosperity.
You know what? That girl you work with, she gave me the pearl of wisdom the other day. I couldn't believe it. She said, men will actually pay to see boobs. And I was like, yeah, for like the last 10 million years. Yeah. This is not new information. Yeah. Sheila Nagigs, I think she was often spotted at bachelorette parties with her roommate, Fila Majugs. That's fake. Don't come at me in the comments.
Yeah, but she was a real thing, and they had figurines of hers in ancient Ireland and Britain, too. So,
okay.
Yeah, you never know who's going to be talking you up at the bar. Our feature interview this week from the Adirondack Mountains of New York. Our feature interview this week with us none other than, I'm going to kill this, but I'm going to try anyway. Skagasoa.
I made it phonetic on purpose.
All right, thanks. I need it.
Skagasoa.
AKA, otherwise known as Jon Krieger. He is the genius behind
Blackbraid,
a one-man project called Blackbraid. However, don't expect his music to lapse into the usual trappings of blast beats and satanic lyrics. This guy's about to subvert the genre's every cliche.
Yeah, it absolutely dominated our listening last year, the Blackbraid 1 record. Jon is going to tell us all about what inspired such a unique and groundbreaking record and what kind of dogs he has. So, and ladies, very Keanu Reeves. Stay tuned. Anyway, pitter. So let's play a song. Why don't you introduce it?
This is one of my favorite Blackbraid songs. It's called The River of Time Flows Through Me.
Okay, let's talk about Patreon. First of all, I'm going to give you a list. Here is all our links. Okay, Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'll even throw that in there. TikTok. We got some zany stuff on our TikTok page. So anyway, but getting back to Patreon, this week I'm going to be putting up exclusive content like I do every week. The top 10 albums of the mid-Atlantic doom scene. That would be the doom that was generated in the late 80s and early 90s from Maryland, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Delaware. And this is the reason why I don't like Candlemass, because this stuff crushes it. There's tons of it too.
Oh, sorry.
Which is the best Pentagram album to start with? And when it comes to Scott Weinrich, is The Obsessed better than Spirit Caravan? You'll just have to check out our Patreon and find out. I could write a novel about this shit. So anyway, how about you?
I think I'm going to do a review of my latest Clive Barker book,
Which one is it?
Mr. Begone.
Okay. Yeah. Did we read that together? Or no, I didn't read that one. Okay.
I read these at the beginning.
In the beginning, right? Well, $6.66 a month goes a long way, and I'm making some steady progress on t-shirts. Tell them about the t-shirts I made last night.
He made these incredible Decay t-shirts. Oh,
For this season.
I took our mug back upstairs, but yeah, from this season's artwork, and they turned out phenomenal.
Yeah. So very cool swag is coming soon, and we'd be glad to just throw in a t-shirt to anybody who subscribes. $6.66 a month helps us pay for all our accoutrements. So we need you. You guys know you love us. Get over to Patreon and become a subscriber, a Snaggletooth minion, as we like to say.
Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss
One zany antic,
one
weird
episode,
Babylonian god,
and other stuff.
the Babylonian god of spoiled dairy products.
There was a lot of that back then.
Okay, so we've all heard the famous Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake.
Yeah,
Famous
that
quote.
wasn't
Yeah.
a good thing to say.
And where did I read it? Oh, in Cream Magazine, they say it's better to be hated like Nickelback than hated like Marie Antoinette. I think
Oh,
that's a great one. Yeah,
yeah.
good point. Yeah. So I started thinking about what are some quotes that we've heard that celebrities have put out there that they would love to reel back in and have never said before. There's a bunch of them. So
Any of Donald Trump's tweets.
I saw a bumper sticker the other day that said, I would love to have a mean tweet and $1.79 gas today. And it took me a minute to think about it. What the hell is it? Oh dear. Oh my. It's a very subtle
Yeah.
way of getting to the T word. Anyway. All right. Speaking of the T word, Theismann, Joe
Uh-oh.
Theismann. Okay. Redskins quarterback, I think he was, right?
Mhm.
Or no Commanders. I said it. Oh no.
Uh-huh.
And on the Blackbraid show, please forgive me.
Dear
Anyway,
Lord.
Joe Theismann, who was quarterback for Washington, said this was a quote from him. He said, the word genius isn't applicable in football. A genius is a guy like Norman Einstein.
Oh no.
Okay, you're up. Sarah Palin. Pew, pew.
Yeah, we kind of touched on Alaska
Yeah.
the other week,
The
but
cat that was mayor.
yeah, the cat that was mayor. Real story, real, not fake. She said nuclear weaponry, of course, would be the be all end all for just too many people on too many parts of the planet.
The fuck was that?
I guess maybe she meant not Alaska because nobody would bomb that.
Could you be more vague? That she sounds like John Harbaugh talking about injuries. Anyway.
Well, when it comes to Lamar, soon we'll find out what the be all and end all story with his knee is. As soon as you see our injury.
We'll never
report.
not provide valuable information about his injury, which could go one way or the other.
He may be leaving us together or separately at any time.
Good football.
Mhm.
Okay, I like this one. When you look up dumb quotes, every other one is George H.W. Bush. And I picked this one. I have opinions. Should I try to say it in his voice? Can I do it? Can I do it, George W? I have opinions of my own, strong opinions, but I don't always agree with them.
You shouldn't always agree with yourself.
Really not sure if I actually agree with them. No, yeah. I have opinions, but I'm just really not sure if I agree with them. Took me a minute to get the Dana Carvey going. Well, how about this next one from Ivana T. Word?
Writing fiction is great. You can make up almost anything.
Oh, it's fiction. You can literally make up anything. Oh my boy, that's a winner right there.
Woo.
I remember when this was said, my parents thought this was hilarious. Marion Barry, who was the mayor of DC, I believe.
Crack smoking.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. He was the
Yeah.
So you remember too. He said, hey, look, if you take out the killings, Washington, D.C. actually is a very low crime rate.
My God.
Forget about the murders.
Care about that.
Forget about the murders.
Focus on lack of robbery.
I like the next one too. Brooke Shields.
Brooke Shields actually said this. Smoking kills. If you're killed, you've lost an important part of your life.
No, how about the next one too? From Mike Tyson. I remember when he said this too.
He said, guess I'm gonna fade into Bolivian. The hell is Bolivian?
You switched two syllables.
Bolivia?
That's priceless.
I don't understand.
We all know what he meant. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, I think a gay marriage should be between a man and a woman.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was when he was governor. I think a gay marriage should be between a man and a woman.
This is another man who had more bad quotes. Dan Quayle.
This one,
Dan Quayle.
There's so many Dan Quayles. Everyone, it's like a Bush Quayle. Yeah. So
he said it's time for the human race to enter the solar system. What?
It's like something a child would say.
Okay. Way to go, Copernicus.
To infinity and beyond. Dan Quayle. Okay. Oh, great one from Keith Richards. He says, with a complete deadpan, straight face, he just picture the cigarette. I've never had problems from drugs. I've had problems from the police. Interesting way of looking at it. That's very Keith Richards, yeah. So. I can't believe the next one.
I think he was very tired. And maybe he was counting Puerto Rico and some places I can't think of.
I understand.
But he said, I've now been in 57 states. I think I have one left to go.
Barack Obama said that. Had he been up for like 2 weeks straight or something?
Or he's counting some territories.
I don't think so. I think he was just tired. So, Ozzy, Viagra's a great sleeping drug. I take Viagra and Sharon goes right to sleep.
All right. So this one comes from the also frequently putting her foot in her mouth, Roseanne Barr. Yeah. Experts say you should never hit your children in anger. When's a good time? When you're feeling festive?
That's a pretty good one, actually. Yeah.
I actually do remember my parents, I would get upset and they'd be like, you stop crying and start having fun right now. Like that was going to be like,
beatings will continue until the morale improves. Yeah. All right, you just take the next two and I'll take the grand finale. Yeah.
And of course, the Joe Namath, let me kiss you, Susie, on live TV.
I mean, all right. We all had a crush on Susie Goldberg, and she still looks great. But Joe took it a little too far. That's a very embarrassing thing. You have to Google that. He won't let it go. Anyway,
this one is credited to the incomparable Paris Hilton.
The ironing board chested Paris Hilton. Yes.
She said, "No, I didn't go to England. I went to London."
All right, drum roll, please. The winner of the dumbest quote from any celebrity since the dawn of time goes to Mariah Carey, who said in 1996, whenever I watch TV and see those poor starving kids all over the world, I can't help but cry. I mean, I'd love to be skinny like that, but not with all those flies and death and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the flies and deaths and stuff diet, Mariah.
All I want for Christmas is no flies and death and stuff.
God.
All right, so this has been quotes that celebrities would like to take back with Mark and Stace. Let's play some Blackbraid, baby.
Let's get back to some Blackbraid for sure.
Do it.
This is prying open the jaws of eternity.
You got a whole
Right.
load of hum there.
I didn't bring down everything, but I just wanted to touch on a few from our sponsor, Hum Nutrition.
Wait, I'm putting this right in front of me. Sorry. It's not bubbly, actually.
Yes, it's not bubbly. They are not our sponsor, but Hum Nutrition is. They have supplements that will make you better in every way. I can tell you, and I was a big doubter when I started using these products, read the reviews, everything that they sell actually works. This has become one of my favorites. This is new to me. I took red carpet before this. It really made my hair much thicker, my skin much better able to retain moisture. But this little pack is a double. It's called Runway Ready, which is hard to say 3 times fast. But this has red carpet with that linoleic acid in it, as well as killer nails. Now, I've been taking this for a month. I used to actually have the big old fake nails, which kind of ruined what nails I did have left. I honestly have taken other supplements like gummies that were supposed to help your hair and nails. They never did. I am actually starting to notice a difference after being on this for a month. I'm actually getting a little length. Things aren't breaking. The cuticle is much smoother. I was a doubter again. I should have known better, but this is a great product. And you get a 2-in-1 here for the Runway Ready pack. And they come in little packs like this. You can just take them with you. This is one we've come to know and love, Ripped Rooster. It helps burn fat with green tea. There's actually ingredients that will go inside your that's hard to say. That will go inside your cerebellum and say, you know what, you're full. So this is a great
Dated cerebellum, fucking ice queen. Avoid. Go ahead.
So this is a great product. It's not a magic pill. You can't eat 3 pizzas and take this and expect it to work.
What?
However, as Rebecca Louise always tells us,
What if they're gluten-free pizzas? Then you can do it, right?
no.
As Rebecca Louise says,
Oh, she says, I want to
80% is the nutrition.
is the nutrition. And 20% is working out.
And 10% is never having children.
10% is never having children. But this will put you over the top if you're already having, pretty nutritious diet and exercise.
If you can
This
put
is the
the
product
fucking
that'll take you
fork
over.
down, then this will help.
Yeah.
All right?
I
That's
have
what she's
noticed,
trying to say.
I have noticed the difference.
Put the fork down, people.
I have noticed the difference. And of course, our standby wingman. This has milk thistle, and this will detoxify your liver. It will get rid of any hangover that you might have, as well as any alcohol sins you may have committed. So use our link to get over to Hum. They have many products. They have products to help you sleep. They have products to help your skin. They have products to help your hair. They have products to keep you healthy. So get over there if you're not sure what's right for you. Take their quiz. Use our link. It will save you $20 off your first order.
I like their pills that make you invisible.
No,
They're my
no.
favorite.
They don't actually. That's fake.
Ah, I hear it. It's time for wax of contrition. And this is going to steamroll your brain this week. All right, I'm going to start off with, I grabbed the wrong record. Jesus just left Chicago. This is a great record. I don't have to tell you, it's going to hurt it on the excellent. Look at that. Bill Ham. Yep. So, but this is not the record that I wanted to focus on, but you should get it anyway. Okay. I'd be remiss if I didn't show off this little puppy, Blackbraid, since it's our feature this week. John got this in the mail to us just in time for the show. So I'll show off this little vinyl beauty of probably the best extreme album of last year, in my opinion. I couldn't stop listening to it.
Skull and Antlers.
I'll say the antlers. There's an antler geek out, kind of like we had with Cody from Wormwitch. Because Wormwitch and Blackbraid sound so similar. Okay. So, all right. So true collectivization is beginning now, starting now. We have featured this week the Amorphis debut, the Karelian Isthmus from 1992. And let me just start off by saying that Isthmus here. Anyway, okay. Just look at that cover with the splashes of luscious green and red battle scenes. Amorphis's debut is death metal with unhurried charm and gothic overtones.
Such an intelligent record. It's literally focused on English, Finnish, and even some Irish battle lore.
I'm not finished. We have more to go.
Well, no, we're not finished. It's Finnish.
That's
But
fair.
anyway, actually, the album cover refers to an actual stretch of land on Finland's border. That's the actual isthmus, which is hard to say. Not Christmas, isthmus.
Mm-hmm.
And that was once part of the Russian Empire, actually.
Mm-hmm. They're true to their folklore. Yeah. Well, I guess it's not folklore, it's battle lore, right? So at this point, the band is the music is very different than what it would become later. They offer up throbbing riffs, kind of lots of keyboard ramps. This record's got more in common with early Paradise Lost and weird Finnish prog rock than like traditional old school death metal, you know. I love the dissonant harmonies. They're more in the vein of bands from the region like Demlik and Demigod. If you listen to something like The Warrior's Trial, the band had already developed a knack for weaving high drama and those kind of heavy horse bits and the slowdowns.
The bursts of speed on this record are exactly that. They make like bridges between a weeping willow doomed segments.
Yeah. Not a record for the casual Deicide or Slayer fan. The experiments with pace on this record require a degree of patience, but if you've not checked out Amorphis, this is a band that you can feel safe to go all the way back to the beginning and get started, because this is a fantastic record. And we're going to play a song for you now from the debut, and it's called Sign from the North Side. Okay, I'll introduce this one.
For Wax of Contrition 2, we're continuing to stick with Amorphis. This one is Tales from the Thousand Lakes, going back to 1994.
So blue and so beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
So
blue.
when I'm back in the day, we used to have a joke, because Bon Jovi reigned supreme, right? And bands like Black and Blue would throw keyboards on top of their music. Tigers of Pantang, their stuff from the mid '80s is fucking god awful, right? And we used to say, "Oh, I'm so glad they added keyboards because it's so much better," because it was like a disease, right? But an interesting thing about Amorphis is they actually reversed our feelings on keyboards. Tales from a Thousand Lakes is a concept album. It's full of Finnish folklore and Karelian mythology. The infusion of keys on this record, combined with their ferocious melodic death style, it creates this unique, grandiose record. Probably my favorite mellow death album.
I mean, to be fair, there were keyboards in the original background of the very first record.
The Karelianist.
It was nothing like this. From the first song, Into Hiding, the record just steamrolls with track eclipses, and
it builds.
Like
each one's better than the previous one.
You know, it just builds, and each one is better. It's a perfect blend of prog majesty and crackling metal.
Yeah. Put on something like the instrumental, the Black Winter Day. The moment that those kind of whimsical Genesis / Tull organ lines break against that main riff, it's just spectacular. I mean, and the last two tracks on the record are just showstoppers. To Father's Cabin and Magic and Mayhem. Just the riffs are like knives, organs driving, pomp, technoflash. This is a fantastic record. Got to hear it. We're going to play a song for you now. Go ahead and introduce it.
This is Magic and Mayhem. And this, guys, is nothing short of hand-painted death metal.
Long live Amorphis. Okay, so I guess it's time for us to introduce our interview with Jon. We talked about many things, and we do a Blaspheming Monikers with him. So,
yeah, this is really groundbreaking with the things that he does. I think he's even amazed at the success that he's already achieved.
Yeah.
And I see nothing but up for this young rising star.
Yeah, one or two other people besides us like this record. Yeah. So, so take it away. Interview with Jon. Well, we've been enjoying Blackbraid 1 all year. It was one of my favorite albums of 2022. Absolutely.
And we're excited about your vinyl coming.
We are. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they're coming right now. I've been packing
Yeah, I wasn't trying to like haggle with you about the shipping. It was just some of the bands on Bandcamp, all of a sudden, ship vinyl was like $48.
Oh, that's insane.
Yeah, and it was a lot of European stuff, and I thought yours had that. I got confused. So
yeah,
$10
no,
is
it's fine. I just hate I hate media mail, so I refuse to use them because they like.
I've got a record stuck in it right now.
Stuff, yeah.
So.
But yeah, I've been packing all week long. So if you guys had one, it'll definitely be to you within the week.
Okay, that's great.
I've been cranking them out this week. So
we're in Baltimore, so we're not too far.
No, not.
Oh yeah, you'll probably get it super soon.
That's great. Yeah. What do you got?
No. We have a bunch of questions for you.
Yeah,
Um,
go for it.
Your lyrics are so not the usual black metal. You incorporate nature and folk and sometimes, the injustice of Native American people. What inspired you to take that mix and bring it together?
I don't know. I guess it's really that's just kind of like my life in a nutshell. So it goes like it just seems to flow kind of like that's just what I it's easy for me to write about that stuff, you know?
Yeah.
How has Blackbraid evolved since you began this project?
Um yeah, it's crazy because it's changed in so many ways and at the same time it hasn't really changed that much at all. Like um it's nuts to think I'm still on my first album and I pretty much finished the second one at this point. I'm like finishing it up, but it's gonna come out next year, like mid to late next year. And it's like very much in the same vein, and like I feel like the music didn't really change much at all. In the last year, it's very similar, and it's kind of like an extension of the first album. But yeah, like the circumstances surrounding it have just been so crazy because it just keeps like snowballing, I guess. Um, and it's been a wild ride. Like I never thought it would really get anywhere. I started Blackbraid, just as like a personal endeavor, kind of like a hobby almost. Like I didn't expect it to gain any traction, and I definitely did not want to play shows at all.
Wow.
When I started, like I'm pretty much a homebody, and like we have a homestead, and I live out in the middle of nowhere, and there's no one around here, or no cities or anything. It's really hard for me to play shows, so or travel even. So I was pretty against it at first, but the offers started like flowing in and it didn't take me long to like succumb to it. So I'd say that's the biggest difference. Like I was really set on not playing shows and kind of being like a solo studio project. Um when I first started and now I'm playing, we're playing everywhere. We got like a full US tour two
Yeah.
full US tours next year. So
Yeah,
uh,
I liked the album right away, and I'd been listening to it for months, and I thought that just kind of really underground folks were into it, and then I went on your site and I saw all the accolades, and I was like, wow, this I'm not the only one that loves this record. This is really great.
So many people say it's not just music, it's art. And I think you've touched so many people. I'm sure you get tons of feedback like that.
Oh yeah. Mm.
I do. It's awesome. I mean, I never get tired of it, because it's like it's really surreal to me still. Like I never thought these songs would really amount to much at all, I just kind of
Wow.
put them out for like my own uh just like my own well-being. Like I liked them and I wanted to kind of put them out there, but solo black metal usually doesn't do very great. So I went into it with like zero expectations pretty much.
Now, I probably should have checked this. Were you in black metal bands before doing your solo thing, and then you were just like, I want to do my own thing, or is this really it?
No, this is pretty much it for me.
Okay.
Like I played in like s- uh some like old metal and hardcore bands and stuff when I was like really young, like in my
Mhm.
early 20s. I'm 33 now. Um, but nothing really serious, and I wasn't really doing much writing back then either. I was kind of just messing around with my friends and stuff. So, you know, I've kind of fell out of that. I've been a musician my whole life, but I probably wasn't playing music for 7 or 8 years before Blackbraid.
Mhm.
And I've always loved black metal, and I was kind of just like started working on these songs one day, and it took me like a few months to kind of get it to the point where I was like, oh, I could write an album. But no, it kind of just came out of nowhere. I was like, I think I want to write music again. It had been a long time since I had really played any, and I was like, fuck it, and I started putting out songs. So
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
When you do your recording progress as like a one man, do you lay down certain tracks first, or does it depend on the song, or do you have a starting point?
yeah, well, I record with my buddy Neil. My good friend Neil Schneider produced the whole album. And he lives down near Albany. So which is like I can get to him in like a little under 2 hours, so it's not that bad. Um, when I'm recording, like now I'm finishing up the second album. I usually go down there like once every 2 weeks, and we'll like grind for like 6 or 7 hours and do as much as we can, and then I'll come back the next week. Because like as much like after that, I feel like that's our limit. Like we start being unproductive after that.
Understood. Yeah.
But um, but anyway, yeah, I'm not really good with like the whole software and audio engineer thing. I'm pretty bad, with the technical aspect of it. So it's way easier for me to just like I go down there and I write the songs and I know my parts. And then he records it and mixes and masters and does all that stuff for me. But
What's your day job that I hope you can quit when you make Dark Throne money?
I guess I mean I don't have a day job. It's this now.
Oh,
I
awesome.
am doing insanely well. I don't really know what else to say. Like it's been so surreal. And
That is awesome. Yeah.
I used to build houses. I was a carpenter.
Okay.
I was doing that for a long time, and I quit. I I think it was April. It just got to the point where like I couldn't really have a full-time job anymore because it was just becoming like so big and so time consuming, and I didn't want to quit Blackbraid, and I had to pick one or the other. So yeah, since April I've just been doing Blackbraid.
You're living on the devil's music. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, ask him about the one. What's the one that the image?
Oh, yeah. Mark loves the artwork for the barefoot ghost dance on the blood soaked soil. That is so cool. Are you planning on doing that as a 12-inch or a t-shirt? That
That image is
great.
so awesome. Yeah.
I probably won't. I don't really. I'm kind of a little weird about reproducing that image. Because it's like so old and kind of like a sacred image, and
What
I
is
feel
it
weird
exactly?
about selling it, but yeah, it's a super powerful image. It's a shot from Edward S. Curtis, who's like a old Wild West photographer.
Okay.
He documented most of the majority of like the Wild West photos you see of natives and like the earliest stuff from the turn of the century. A lot of that was him. He was like one of the biggest photographers. He's got like thousands and thousands of stuff in the Museum of Natural History and other crap. But yeah, that's one of his photos from 1908. It was taken. Uh, and it's two Cheyenne sun dancers getting ready for Sundance in like northern Cheyenne territory somewhere.
That's awesome. It's 1908. That's a historical photo. I thought that was like a done up like an album cover type of thing.
No, yeah. No, it's public domain, but yeah, it's a really old one. It's
Wow.
1908, like right after the end of the Indian Wars, and it's
Wow.
super powerful. So
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
Wow.
So you were adopted. How, obviously they did a great job. How did they introduce you to your heritage?
I mean, I don't know. My mom just kind of it wasn't really something that I even thought about. Like it seemed normal to me growing up, like she obviously like I'm very brown and my parents weren't. So like there was no question like there was never a question for me like if I was adopted. Like it was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
Um but she was always just very straightforward with it with me like, this is your culture, and she would bring me around, you know, anything she could, and friends and family and museums, powwows, you name it. Like we would take vacations and stuff at times, to historical sites, but like she just really tried super hard to make sure that like was always a part of my life for me.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. You hear so many bad stories about it not going that way.
Yeah.
So a lot of your songs cover everything from the Battle of Wounded Knee all the way through to, the North Dakota pipeline going through the Standing Rock Reservation. How did you choose your subject matter? Was it something that you learned or something that impressed you? Because there's so many stories.
Yeah, I don't really choose it, to be honest. Like most of the time I'll write a song and like I'll maybe like 50% have an idea about what the lyrics are going to be when I write the music. I usually write the music first, and um I kind of just feel them out from there. And sometimes I'll write a song in half an hour, and sometimes it'll take me 3 months. Like I never really know what they're about until like the minute they're done, it seems like.
Yeah. I'll tell you what,
I don't know what I'm writing about half the time, and then it kind of just works itself out, I think.
well, you're one of the small group of artists that actually makes me bust out the Wikipedia. And so I mean, the first band that ever did that for me was Rush, where I was like, what the heck is Kubla Khan? And I had to go get my parents' actual encyclopedias, and I'm looking up, this stuff about what's it
Oh, the Kubla Khan.
yeah,
no.
the history. Yeah. So
Yeah,
anyway, yeah, so that's the mark of the intelligent artist. Makes you think.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that you incorporate so many different types. Like the flutes make me absolutely goosebump. Totally head to toe. Do you play all those instruments yourself?
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
definitely.
That's so cool. Yeah. Wow.
How many
Um,
instruments can you play?
um, man, I don't know. Well, native flute is kind of like, again, it's like a very, I don't know. It's not really like guitar. Like it's hard to describe. It's very easy to learn, but it's very hard to get good at it. So,
Okay.
it's not hard to like for me to like pick up a flute I've never played and then just be able to play it. But like each flute is kind of unique and you have to like learn how they work and stuff. So it's way different than playing other instruments, I think, because it's like it's very easy to make a flute sound really pretty without having to be really good at it. Um, like I'm definitely not that great at flute, but I play pretty simple stuff and um I think it works pretty well. So
It blends really well with the atmosphere of the album. It really does. Yeah.
Are there snippets at the end of that of an actual stream?
yeah, I have streams going. We put a bunch of samples in there. There's like wind and some other stuff. I can't even remember all of it, but yeah, that stream is I actually took that's the recording from the River of Time lyric video there. When I shot that video, uh obviously the audio is like overlaid, it's just the song there, but like I had the flowing water audio from like when I was taking the shots for the video. So I took the audio out of that, and that's the audio we use for the
That's really cool.
Oh, that's
stream.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, your one video, the Skankadaga video, it was just like all these animals and I started thinking there's so many black metal groups that their videos are in nature. What do you think the connection is there?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I just love nature and black metal it's like a really it's kind of just like a very it flows very nicely, like it's a pure expression of nature almost. And I think that's probably why I ended up writing black metal. Excuse me. Um, just because I love nature so much and like I already loved black metal because it's so intertwined with nature already, and like it was just so easy to kind of write black metal with the amount of time I spent in nature already.
I was teasing Corey from Wormwitch because they have a video where they're playing. I was like, where were you plugged in? He was like, no, that's totally fake. And the horns. I mean, even your Jägermeister has horns, so horns run through it too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a long geek out, me and Cody from Wormwitch, talking about antlers and how we love the shape of antlers. I'm sure you can relate how
Oh
metal
yeah.
antlers are.
Yeah,
something
I mean,
about
I
it.
got a bunch of antlers right. I got antlers everywhere. My house
Yep.
is full of them. There's two medium-sized ones sitting right here. I got these
So
whitetail.
cool. So
Hey.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these were sheds from like a while ago.
That's cool.
Anyway, yeah, we got a lot of antlers in this house.
It was funny. Halloween time, I found this great, skull with antlers that they had up for Halloween. No, it's on our wall all the time.
Like all the Oh, you want to do it?
All right, so we have a little game we would like to play. Okay. So this is called Blaspheming Monikers. So I'm going to read to you, it's 5
band names.
band names. One of them is completely made up. The other is actual band names.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
So yeah, take
Yeah.
your time and see if you can
Well,
guess
there's
which one is fake.
five of them.
There's 5. Yeah, one of them's fake.
One is completely fake.
Okay.
The other are
Okay.
actual bands.
All right.
So the first one is 6-pound skin suit.
Okay.
Second one is REO rape van. Yeah, I know. Number 3 is bear fight! Exclamation point. Fourth one is the Illuminati. And the fifth one is hiss from the moat.
Maybe Oreo rape.
Weirdly enough, that is an actual band. They are out of Florida. They're a 4-piece sludge metal, active since 2013, 1 live album. So I don't know why they picked that, but all right.
Yeah.
They're right up there with the Mentors.
Yeah, when you the random band generator on Metal Archives is like the greatest thing ever. Like, this is where this came from. You can't believe some of these names of these bands. All right, so what would be your next choice? What would be your next choice of what you think is fake?
Was it the Illuminati's? Is that
Ding,
it?
ding.
I would
Yeah,
say
you
that
got
one.
it. All right,
Okay.
second one, got it right. Yeah,
Yeah, the Illuminati is made up. It's actually a Mentors album, but it's not a band name.
right. That was very good. Yeah, but yeah, so what is it? 6-pound skin suit is from Austin, and it's a 3-man prog metal band. Bear fight is from Savannah, 5-piece with 3 guitar players. And Hiss from the Moat is an Italian band that plays deathcore. So there you go. Yeah. So this has been Blaspheming Monikers with Jon. So what's next for you? Do you have a big tour coming up or something like that? Or
I do, yeah. We're gonna tour twice next year.
Oh,
2
cool.
US tours. We're gonna do a spring and a fall. In spring we're gonna announce like in the next week or 2. I think in the very end of this month we'll announce it. So that's coming
who
up
do you
really
have with you
soon.
when you play live?
I think he's
Oh,
doing Holder.
No, I mean you like
that?
musician wise. Like who did you recruit for your band for live?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are doing Holder too. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's next month. That's a one-off in New York. It's gonna be really fun.
Manhattan.
Yeah. But yeah, when I play live, I have a bunch of my buddies. They're all based in LA actually. I decided to base all my guys out there because the black metal scene is just so much more thriving on the West Coast. And if I was gonna play one-offs or even like a little tour or something, like I wanted to be able to like go out there uh and play very easily. So and there's like no one where I live either. I live in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness, so national park. So like there's no guys around here to play with me, and I didn't really want to run into like trying to find a bunch of local dudes that I didn't really like anyway, and then like having to fly them all over the country. So like I figured LA, like there's a huge black metal scene out there, all over the West Coast, and it would be a good place to base them all. So my buddy Edo, who he has a little label called Night of the Pale Moon, and he does a bunch of other black metal. Like he has a few solo projects, like Maleficent is his big one. But yeah, when I knew I just wanted to have a bunch of good good friends and indigenous dudes in the lineup when I started looking at playing live shows. So and he like his label specializes in indigenous black metal. So I hit him up and I was like, you want to play live with me and help me find some other dudes to play?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how it happened, and now we're all great friends. And yeah, I mean, I really can't thank him enough because like he pretty much made the live lineup happen for me. I didn't really have to put any thought into it.
That's great.
Yeah, they have. I saw you were guest vocaling too. You were a guest vocalist, so that's really neat too.
Oh yeah, with Ishashi Swan. That's his band too. Yeah, that's one of his solo projects. Yeah.
So, and also you have the Hellfest open air coming up in France. That's gonna be wild, I think.
Yeah.
Over there.
Yeah, we're extremely pumped for that. And that's like right after this tour that we're about to announce. Like, it's gonna be wild. Like, we're going out for like a month and a half, and then like straight into that. Like, I think we got like 3 days after tour ends until Hellfest. So, yeah.
the biggest challenges living there in the Adirondacks?
I don't know. The winters are pretty harsh, I guess. Like the weather and stuff. I can't really travel during the winter. I just don't look at shows or tours or anything. This Holder thing is a pretty unique situation, but it is New York too, so like I fly all my guys in and I can drive down and meet them. It's only like a 5 hour drive for me to New York City, so it's not too hard, especially if it's just one. But yeah, the weather's pretty nuts. Like we get hammered with snow every winter. You know, we'll get it's not uncommon for us to get like a foot or two during a storm. And I live way out there too. I keep looking out my window, but I have like my driveway is like a quarter mile long. It's a dirt road and it goes up a mountain. So like I'm constantly plowing all winter, and like if I miss it, like if a storm were to come and I weren't to plow it, we'd be pretty fucked. So
Yeah.
um
Do you have like a big truck or a big Jeep or something like that?
yeah, I plow with my truck.
Yeah.
When I've got like a big 8 foot plow on there. But yeah, that's probably the worst of it. Like the
Well,
winters can get really crazy. It's often below zero. This week has been pretty warm. Like right now I think it's like 25, which isn't bad at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, the winters are probably the worst. And then the summers are beautiful. So
The trade-off, yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, God, what if you have to walk your dog?
yeah, my dogs love it. I mean, we had 2 huskies, so
Oh, that's perfect.
you know, they sit on the deck when it's like when the snow's out there, they'll sit on the deck for like 8 hours and they don't want to come in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, huskies are built for that. God, they're beautiful animals.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Well, this was great, John. I really appreciate it. Good luck on the tour. Good luck with the Holder thing, and good luck with the next album. Yeah. So,
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so
Cannot
much.
wait for more.
Yeah, we can't wait for more. I'm glad to hear that you're making money doing the devil's good work. So yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying. We'll see how it goes, but
All right, man. Hang in there. Thanks
all
again.
right. Yeah,
All right, take
thank
it
you
easy.
guys so
All
much.
right.
The sounds of decay!
Sounds of Decay. Our first band from Kingsport, Tennessee is Daedric Chamber. This town sits out in timber country along the Virginia border. And it's got some chemical plants and some university campuses, but it's best known for what, my dear?
A brutal public execution of an elephant named Mary, Murderous Mary, back in 1916.
Seriously. That story fucked me up.
It'll scar you for life.
Yeah.
But look it up anyway. It'll scar you for life.
Pretty fucking dark. Yeah. I won't spoil it for you, but it's awful. Anyway, Daedric Chamber is Snitz. His real name is Arian Monk. He's a kind of a nomadic musician. He's in a bunch of different bands, black and death metal projects, Calist, Siege Tower, and Wizard Keep. That's a cool name, Wizard Keep. I like it. All the lyrics for Daedric Chamber are about a video game called The Elder Scrolls that I know nothing about. And Snitz has been very prolific as of late. He has
Prolific.
put out 2 full lengths and 3 EPs all in a year.
1 year.
Yeah. Right.
Apparently, this video game is very inspirational. But each song begins with the sound of that needle cracking on vinyl,
Which is weird.
which is weird, right? Because considering none of the band's discography is available on vinyl, that we couldn't find that at all.
It's the first thing I look for usually. Yeah.
But this EP is worth exploring.
The song Akatosh Arise, I think I'm saying that right. Sounds like it was recorded in a cement mixer, you know, reminiscent of early Burzum, reverby screams from Snitz. But then on the other end of the spectrum, you have stuff like Nordic Triumph, which is more dungeon synth. And of course, that popping vinyl sound never goes away. I don't understand it. Maybe it's got something to do with the video game. I don't know. But
They play records during the video game.
I just the dude from Beharit would have loved this shit. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. So why don't you just a song?
This is Awaiting Illuden's Grand Return. Sounds of Decay 2 from the frozen white wasteland that is Winnipeg, Ontario.
Got me just about as angry as an Eskimo boy could be.
Incidentally, there are 2 pages of bands on Metal Archives that start with the word nocturnal.
Right. Well, there's a page NOC Turtle, and then there's another page of NOK Turtle. There's a lot of
Wow.
it's almost like a shun thing. There's so many. But I think these guys are probably the best nocturnal band on the whole fucking metal archives because this record blew me away. 40 minutes of incredibly catchy black metal, equal parts Inquisition style sonic weirdness, and just prime Dark Throne Celtic Frost riffery. Great stuff. Is riffery a word? I think it is. It is now.
Referee.
Yeah.
Sure. The twin speaking of guitar riffs, the twin guitars here of Funerar and Necrogeist skip from riff to riff, kind of ADH style, often stopping to drop these dissident black arpeggios, like the midpoint of the spectacular sacrificial summon under the sign of a Moldus.
That sounds like a fucking Inquisition song title. Yeah. I had to stop at the funeral on the way home. I got us some caskets. Anyway.
And some necro.
Yeah.
Some necrogeist.
The singer has like 3 different vocal styles. He's got the rasp, the death growl, and then this weird warble. Like
They
he's-
brought a necrogeists again.
One more thing about this record. It's besides the fact that it rules. They released it on 12/30/22. A huge fuck you and your end of year list. That's what that is. Yeah. It missed everything. So, but it would have been on mine. So why don't you introduce the song, Ben?
All right, this is a song. It's called Triumphator of Earthly Realms.
Sounds of Decay 3. The new obituary is out.
After
Just dropped a couple weeks ago. Shockingly, Dying of Everything is a front to back ripper. So, yeah.
Yeah, I heard the first single drop. It was December of 2022, and I was instantly blown away. You know, it's easy to forget the importance of consistency. You turn that key in your little Honda sedan, and that puppy roars to life morning after morning, whether it's 8 degrees or 80 degrees.
That's right. You stop to get you stop at your favorite coffee shop to get coffee on the way to work every day. You don't think about it. Can't live without it, but it becomes something that you don't even really think about. Watch what happens in your neighborhood when trash pickup gets delayed a day or two. In our neighborhood, the ropes and torches are employed. I mean, consistency. Reliability, often forgotten, but veteran bands like Autopsy, Carcass, and of course Obituary, they've done nothing since their collective reformations, which, if you think about it, none of these bands had to get back together. And frankly, their early stuff was so revered, they had to be scared shitless that people wouldn't like it or would think it wasn't as good. But all of them, all 3 of the bands I mentioned have done nothing but drop one crusher after another.
No, as soon as I heard that, I was out running. I could not wait to play that single for you. It blew me away.
Talk about
from
like the vocals
first,
and stuff
from the
Yeah.
first listen. I mean, John's vocals are every bit as disgusting as we've come to expect,
Yep.
and his O-ring popping roars sound marvelous across every track of the record.
Yep.
It takes off in the very first note. No bothering with intro.
There's no intro. It's just like, is the mic on? Boom. It just blows up. Every track, masterfully constructed. It's like a riff buffet, lurching through the band's signature kind of Celtic Frost influenced doom segments. Don's drums subtly signaling with tick-tocks that a shift is coming from a painful lurch to racing speed. Go ahead.
Longtime engineer Mark Prater knows a knack for dialing up sausage grinder guitar tones.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He's done like the last 3 or 4 Obituary albums. I think.
And the flittering twin guitar harmonies
Where they just kind of come in real quick for a second and they're gone. Yeah.
that Andrew and Perez put down right here just add the touch of finesse to its bruising power.
Yeah. Looks like the tour with Immolation and Blood Incantation is rolling along. That is a cream in your jeans kind of a lineup, people. So get on this and get with that. And this is Dying of Everything. This was a fun show.
Yeah, now we have a cat meowing.
Yeah. That's not fun at all. But the show was fun. The stuff with the quotes was cracking me up. My God, Dan Quayle. Let's join the solar system.
God. As well as all the gods we could be summoning every day to help us poop and
for homosexual prostitutes only.
And open up door hinges. I mean,
Door hinges thing is true.
Yeah.
What the hell?
rather weird.
And of course, big thanks to John from Blackbraid because the interview was great. I know it was a little bit short. That was my fault. But
He was hungry.
Yeah. full disclosure. Yeah. But we learned a lot about Blackbraid and we wish him nothing but luck with the next record. Can't wait to hear it. So,
I seen, like I said, they're gonna be taking everyone by storm with this live thing, and I can totally see this taking off the next record. I mean, it's the reviews for this alone. Go read them yourself. It's accolade after accolade. This has been the Snaggletooth Decay Extreme Music Podcast. Special thanks to Jon of Blackbraid for appearing on our show, and also for the exquisite vinyl and the awesome music. Snaggletooth theme courtesy of Gustav Jord of Defleshed, who was recently booked into Maryland Death Fest. Sounds of Decay theme written by Steve Rathbone of Lair of the Minotaur. Decay bands, check them out. Decay bands, get over there to Spotify and check them out. Diadric Chamber, Nocturnal Departure, and of course, Obituary. All content 2023, the Snaggletooth Decay Extreme Music Podcast.
swag.
This is the Snaggletooth Extreme Metal Podcast.
Do you remember back in 1966?